Good morning. This is On the Fly, spur of the moment. Bedhead and all, so pull up a cuppa. I am rearranging my kitchen and I have a rearrangement and a turnaround of what was happening in my head yesterday. I don't know if it was my dreams or what, but I woke up in a tizzy. Anybody have that sort of thing before? Mm. It was it was feisty, and then a fellow Kalika, you know who you are, a fellow Kalika from my Planetary Tantra days when I followed the channel Ginny Thwaite and then found out, of course, it was John Lamb Lash. Then therein, I pursued with great passion the Shakti Cluster app and vowing to the Earth Mother, and I still hold to that, even though in a prior video, I was questioning, do I myself go back to the Pleroma? And I thought to myself, heck no, heck no. I tether myself to the Great Mother. She is Turtle Island. The great and wise people of the Americas say that she is Turtle Island, and the turtle is a very sacred animal. Look into the number of hexagons on a turtle's shell and look into the I Ching, which is a divination tool, which we will be doing with 3 coins that you toss 6 times. And it makes a hexagon that can be read, or is it a pentagram? Whatever it is, it's 6 lines, right? And a 6-sided, I thought it was a pentagon, which is that 5 sides. Is it 6? What is it, you guys? It's neither here nor there. It's what it is. It is important then for you to put in the comment section what it is exactly that a turtle shell has, and what are the number of sides that a honeycomb have. And go, whoa, look at that. There is a beautiful design to nature. So according to Planetary Tantra and to my own experience of feeling, we are in the dream of our Great Mother. And so then, what is she dreaming? Excuse me, morning frog. Oh, this area right here, very important, very important. So I'm rearranging my kitchen. I'll be rearranging those glass things to make it look like little bubbles leading to bigger ones in that corner. Because eventually I'll be doing a flower arranging workshop, not a class, a workshop. It's when you get to have fun and you get to work at making your own bouquet as you shop for the flowers. Workshop. So, yeah, what do you see? Oh yeah, right back here, that's a mandala I drew. I'll show it to you. Mon chéri amour, you're the only one that I adore. La 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 la. Dun 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 da da da. There's light on the subject. Is that better? Do we have better lighting now? So what I drew was my coming into the planet. And the moon cycle is this. There's the gold, the love, and this is the great feminine serpent energy. So could we also be in a dragon? And what's the difference? And then there's Kundalini. And is that a trap, or is that a tool by which we can ascend our own bodies through frequency? Whatever. What I sense about our lives is that we have to tether ourselves to the planet. There are so many practices that suggests otherwise. I'm not saying no, don't leave your body when you're on the, if you know how to do all of that, because you can go to great, beautiful places, beautiful, beautiful ones. I know that for a factoid. I know the sound of the spheres, like the most beautiful symphonic music. String symphony is but a pale imitation of what you hear coming down through the angelic realms or whatever it is. As you come back into your body from certain places in your dreaming realm. I've had that, and it's profoundly beautiful, but it's been a while, and so I dream of that. I dream of that again, that in my current body, when I dream, I can have that experience, as opposed to what's I'm experiencing now is waking up in the astral plane, and it's gray, and it's like a prison zone, and I'm working. I like the sound of the spheres instead. So I rip up the contract that says I have to keep working because I'm getting a pain in my neck. And so I want to be able to be free in my own body. Anybody else? I mean, I work in the healing arts, and so many clients are coming in with pains in their necks. So there's got to be something to it. But at the same time, there's energy. So unless you go out into nature, which the fellow Kalika and I talked about on our 2-hour conversation yesterday, was that in the morning when I had my cuppa, and he wakes up early because he works in an industry that it gets hot, so you have to work early and then quit. So your day must start early. So he's an early birdie, and I'm not. I wake up at like 7:38. 7 o'clock sometimes. It's 7:50 now. So I guess sometimes I wake up early. But a lot of early birdies are in my life. My brother's an early birdie. He's 3 hours behind me. He'll be awake. He'll be awake at 8 o'clock our time on the East Coast, because he is all about oh my goodness, living in the desert. So the fellow Kalika lives in the desert, and yeah, I'm massaging my back. Oh. So I realize it's about movement. It's about breathing. It's about tapping into this. I think it's about slapping your kidney adrenal as well, because that's where your essence is, and that's where we're being attacked, I think, energetically. It's like the frog is boiling. Stop, the frog is boiling. So you have to learn how to do your own force field. And so you do that by going outside and tuning into a tree and then bringing that stuff in. And now you're in your heart space. But you line up the 3 fields. I think the most important one is the belly, the gut. But it's in the location that is around the belly button. So it would be like taking your belly button. This is your belly button, and be putting your hand around it like that, and that's the cord of power. That's where the pulse will happen. So it's a ring around your belly button, and it's recommended you don't put a ring literally into your belly button, because that can disrupt the cord. So I know it was trending to pierce your belly button, but that put a ring around your belly button is jokes on you, because it does create something of a tear there. Okay? My shirt tore, and I kind of like it. Isn't that fun? This is all cotton. I found it in my drawer. And then I put it on, and the neck piece was up here. And I'm not a fan of anything too close to my neck. As you can see, the traumatized neck, that please don't anybody put clothing too close to my neck. But anyway, I went, and this is what happened. But it's all cotton. And I got it years ago, and it serves me well. So there. All right, so the place I am now at is the firm resolve that tether to the mother and look at the signs that we have given to us by nature herself, by the design of the turtle shell, by the number of shapes, the shape of the shapes, by the design of the symbols that are shown to be early renditions of what was turned into a tyrannical symbol, which is the swastika, which is really a symbol of great protection and direction. For the Polaris, the northern star, has around it Ursa Major, which is the Great Bear constellation. And the bear goes around the North Star and seasonally and shapes a swastika. So it is a great sign for us to look at Polaris and the meaning of it. So anybody who wants to look into mythology, we have stuff going on now, which is heinous. And meanwhile, you should be paying attention to Uranus, the planet. And the stuff that's happening globally is not to be paid attention to, because at this current situation right now, which is May 1st of 2026, I'm paying attention to the soul only, and the soul grows and the soul knows best, but unplugging from the malarkey that the controllers want to distract you with. It's it's akin to this. It's akin to being in a quiet study hall and somebody comes in and starts yelling at the world and the library, and it's a study hall or something. That's what it's like. So thankfully we have librarians and rules in libraries. Shh. So because these controllers are going to do a whole lot of mind effery, it behooves you to not even go there with your attention, but instead focus it on your own personal journey. So what I'm recognizing is there's a lot of volatility with people and self-righteousness. And because I have experienced that myself, and I'm sure some people have been on the receiving end of my indignation, fair enough, I see it. And because because of my age, because of my experience, because of my compassion, because of my great understanding of the overall picture of it being insignificant, that a person's perceived rights need to be upheld. That's subjectivity. I won't go into it, but people must learn to police themselves. That's all. In the small scale, like neighbors that live in multi-home housing, like apartments and condominiums and townhomes. They must learn to police themselves and then to look at and follow the rules and regulations that are therein within the documents. but don't go to retry. Don't go try and rewrite the Bill of Rights. Okay? Oh, these people. So I'm experiencing a day to be able to unplug and put myself in order. So I'm in the kitchen and I'm putting things in order, putting my cutting boards in order and my cookbooks in order. And I introduce you to my mandala. I know that we come into this lifetime kicking and screaming, but it's also a great opportunity. So despite the attitude, what are we doing here? I'm not doing this again. Is not determined by your will here. If you've been misled here and there. So it's best then to not use your will to make a decision that your soul knows best about. Your free will is used while you're in the 3 dimension. Ta-da! Secret. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Newsflash. So the 3-dimensional territory, and even the 4D when you're in the astral, your will center is what drives it. But when you're on the spirit side, you're in a higher frequency, and you're in the heart and above frequency, and you're in such an open state, you honestly think, oh, it's going to be easy for you here. And when you're in nirvana, like Dr. David Hawkins, anything is possible. And everything becomes possible. And I have experienced it myself. Things that I've needed have become manifest. Little tiny things. And also I've manifested a man that was my mail order man, meaning I order M-A-L-E to the universe. And I got the, okay, be careful what you wish for. So that last one was a doozy. And yet I got the biggest amount of understanding. My mother and he loved each other. It was like they both, it was like 2 dogs sniffing each other's butts when they were there around each other. It was amazing. And she thought he really, really, really loved me. Yeah. She met him in 2014 at my cousin's wedding, and then at my son's wedding in 2017. So, at which time I won't even tell you what was going on behind the scenes with him. But it's like to clear myself of what my soul, my spirit, okay, my auric field was drugged through. It's like you got to clear yourself every single day, but the physical body took a toll too. It's like your essence is attacked when your man is unfaithful to you. And it ultimately became unfaithful with anybody who would be with him, with the bottle. He was only faithful with the bottle. And he would do the future faking. I'm right now, what I'm doing is you put your hands on your pelvic bones and you vibrate your, it's like better than a vibration plate. And you can even do this, okay? Save yourself the money and the space in your apartment. But yeah, so like I believed him and I believed in the dream. It was my fault for believing in the dream, and it was a will for me. I had a will I was willfully going in the wrong direction. Ta-da, I said it. So I was willfully going in the wrong direction, and I had to tune back into the heart, and I had to keep tuning into the universe signs, and I was not going to look outside of myself. I had to look in the reality of the fact that I had absolutely no support in his neighborhood. In fact, all I had was flying monkeys. So I moved back to where my people supported me and loved me, because that's what all women need. They need a community of people who support them and love them. And woe to all ye men who criticize women for leaving men and being happier because we're not being abused anymore. And we know there's no such thing as dating that it's totally 100% ridiculous, and that it's best to remain on the journey of the soul path, because this is the lifetime to grow into the beauty of your knowingness, of your beingness. This is the time to do that, because Chronos will mean nothing when you grow into your body, which is your Homos Luminos body. When you grow into that body, it will become a younger version of you, and the chronological time will mean nothing. So why would I want to look for a 60-year-old man now? I said it. Isn't that hilarious? Okay, well, that's going to call it a morning, because oh, here's my cup of cuppa. We're going to sew it up and finish this triage of discussions. When I go into nature, I feel the trill in the heart. And then I feel my feel go out, and then I feel a connection, and then I feel nature come back. And my thoughts cease to race. So, there. And how do you feel? Some people get a kundalini from my conversation, but it's what a person is, and it has no difference. But you can do qigong that pulls the energy, and you create a ball, and you create heat, and you roll it all around, and you can do that. I've experienced that once at a workshop. Me and the only black friend I ever had, Grace, who died in her sleep for some reason, unexpectedly. Yeah. Huh. She was an amazing, powerful woman. Here's to you, Grace Bradley. Here's to you. She gave me a book called The Power of Love. She also was very, very, very keen on having a savings so that she would have money well into her old age. But look what happened. So even the best laid plans, what does that tell everybody? It behooves you to live in the moment. I'm not saying say it, not save. I'm not saying that. I'm saying be more into the universal flow, because these challenging times are asking us to do that. They're asking those of us who perceptively have little to actually tune into the abundance to which we are made of. Just as much as we are made of love, and not having a love outside of yourself can be a mind bender for people who then feel badly about that. I don't have love in my life. That's not true. I actually have a bigger and higher divine love in my life, because I had what Krishnamurti talked about, which is before you can know what love is, maybe you have to define what love isn't. So knowing what love is one of his books and chapters. I will find that book and show you, as well as the other affirmation one that Grace Bradley gave me. And because what somebody asked him in a seminar was, Krishnamurti, what is love? And he said, well, what love isn't? And I think that if my soul wanted to have the experience of what love isn't, I succeeded. So in this upside down world, I was, before my mother became totally senile and lost her marbles, when she was instead very aggressive towards me, verbally, on every visit, in an exponentially growing pattern, until my father himself said, hey, there's a real problem with my wife, your mother. She's becoming angry, and now she's pushing me. So I was like, well, I got hit as a child. I guess now she's becoming a bad mom to her husband. She did, and she was. But anyway, she no longer can chastise me and give me verbal degradation and make mean statements. But at one time she did. and I got so used to it, I developed coping mechanisms and strategies to avoid exposure. and whew, that loops around to what I was going to tell you. It was important. It's about love. It's that my hometown friend Greg and I were in conversation, I think on text, and he said something about, in reference to me, and then the difference between me and him is that he goes, but I have love. Well, you're a man and you need a woman in your life. I am a woman. So I'm connected to the earth as a woman at all times. The woman's womb is the great void. It connects to the creational field of which is the pleroma. And when each one of the masculine and the feminine come together in divine union, which would be a consensual sexual union that's based not just on the animal instincts or from the willful center, the narcissist wanting to control, when it goes from the fourth chakra up, but it involves the delicious juiciness of the 3D, then you tap into the power. Woohoo! Which is the great mother. And that is the great battery that runs the true relationship that would be in balance between the masculine and feminine. So I leave you with a poem that came to me in a lucid dream, in which I woke up and a creature that was all hairy, not like Chewbacca, not ugly like that, not with gross features and a huge bulbous head. I speak the truth. This was a sacred creature. Oh, and in the dream, it is so sacred. And special. I think you need to listen up closely, because it's the secret key to ending the rift between the sexes, which is a controller's strategy. It was an inserted program, if you will, into this operating system. That's the controller's operating system, which is from the third chakra down. They can't control the heart space. That's why they're always trying to break your heart. They can't control the heart space. Got it? And that can be messed with. You gotta feel what happens in here. Does it go like this? Or does it go, does it go like this? Or does it go, because this is your key. As George Casafatos said, I may have said his name wrong incorrectly, but the only way out of here, this dimensional reality, is in. It's really standing in the power of your own knowingness, of your own creative animal creature capabilities. The planetary animal mother is, if it is the spirit of a dragon, and it is like a turtle island floating through a universe, then where is it going? Where is it going? Can we at least have faith that the photonic waves that are coming to the planet are for our benefit? More later.